Hi, the Stop the War Coalition is and always has been and always will be a coalition of lots of political forces, different forms of media and different forms of communication. So we've got this great concert next week at St James's Piccadilly, but we've also had fantastic support from very many well-known artists and writers over the years. And I want to give you the next speaker, which is Martin Powell, who describes himself quite accurately as a poet and activist, who's going to come up now and read 3 poems to you, the last of which you can see on the Stop the War website, which is a great poem which is saying, "Don't Iraq Iran." Please give a very warm welcome to Martin Powell.
Hi everybody. I'm going to read 2 quick poems for you. The first one I'd like to read is called The Missing Piece, and this is for the people of Palestine. I often find that in the so-called war on terror, Palestine is always forgotten. So whenever I get told by a public official about the war on terror, I always ask, what about Palestine? So this poem, Palestine, is called The Missing Piece is Peace. If you look at the way that the media portrays the state of play within the state of Israel day to day, it's sickening what they convey and what they fail to relay, for they say nothing of the sales of weapons coming from the USA. A shock and awe campaign, all in the name of self-defense. It's nonsense, this pretense, this pre-assembled semblance. An Israeli attack is a daily occurrence, and the fact is that the people are reacting as a consequence to a relentless charade, a blockade that blocks aid, with innocents defenceless from a senseless barricade. But for every small defeat, every bullet-ridden street, for every person they mistreat, harmed by the armed elite, for every town made obsolete by every single block of concrete, this is a project that will never be complete, because the missing piece is peace. It's time to follow our hearts and not orders, to build bridges, not borders. Problems are solved when both parties involved are willing to participate in a debate without killing. How many lives does it take to stop the blood spilling? When fundamental human rights are systematically denied, it's no wonder fundamentalists decide to take their lives by committing suicide. What if you had grown up in a school that was blown up and nobody had shown up with tools to rebuild? Or you had watched as your entire family was killed? Would you ever shake the sound of soldiers' footsteps on the ground as everything you loved was taken with a single round? Walls installed to segregate will only generate hate and never separate the people from the problems they create. The weight of the mortality rates rests upon the state as the economic sponsors since 1948. And with 1 million civilians reduced to refugees, and the Gaza stripped of its rights and liberties, it is time that they addressed and pressed these problems overseas. Because for every small defeat, every bullet-ridden street, for every person they mistreat, harmed by the armed elite, for every town made obsolete by every single block of concrete, this is a project that will never be complete. No, the work will never cease, because the missing piece is peace.
You're doing brilliantly up there.
Thank you. This next poem was written for the guys in there and for all of you, and it's called The Warmonger's Hunger, Don't Iraq Iran. Do you think we cannot hear the beating as Murdoch's foxes bang the drums of war? A rhythm recognisably repeating, a rousing rhetoric we've heard before. We know Tehran is all part of your plan. Iran's a battleground in final hour. You seek to hold the region in your hand, then feast upon the efforts of your power. We know too well the war machine is real, and just like all machines, it runs on oil. The reason you have sought and fought to steal each single drop from Middle Eastern soil. But we shall not fade into the night. We shall fight your cause till peace is made. We'll shine a light on all your sins with all our might until the drums of war cease to be played. And so, for Iraq and Libya, for Syria and Afghanistan, we will ensure your war does not occur. We will make sure you don't Iraq Iran. Thank you.
solidarity with the people in Chicago who are demonstrating tomorrow, and we have a message from the people organising tomorrow's demonstrations. So I'd like to read you the message. This is from the organisers in Chicago. Greetings to the NATO protesters in London from the NATO protesters in Chicago. This weekend, NATO and the G8 are holding their summits in the United States. In Camp David, the G8 governments are crafting a program of austerity against the 99% throughout the world. In Chicago, the NATO powers are planning to enforce this program with wars and occupations. They are the police force to the global 1%. We know that their summits will only bring more suffering to our world. They are determined to force the Greek people to sacrifice their livelihoods for the profit of European banks. They are preparing for more wars against Iran and Syria, justified with the same old lies. But around the world, the side of the world's majority is beginning to fight back. Over the last year, we have risen up in protest from Cairo to Santiago, Athens, London and New York. This weekend in many countries, people are marching in solidarity with our demonstration in Chicago against the NATO and G8 summit. We congratulate the Stop the War Coalition and those who have come out today in opposition to NATO in London. Our marches this weekend will strengthen our common international struggle against war, austerity and repression. It will strengthen our movement in international collaboration in the struggle for a better world based on peace, justice and equality. That world is not only possible, it is necessary. In solidarity, Joe Lombardo and Marilyn Levin, co-coordinators, United National Anti-War Coalition and Coalition Against NATO and the G8 War and Poverty Agenda. So thanks very much and greetings to everybody in Chicago. Give them all a round of applause.
Thanks, Lindsay, and think of those people in Chicago demonstrating today. They are carrying a voice from all of us, from all over the world. Wish them well, yeah? Thank you. Next, Ibrahim Sincere, rapper and poet, to give you a very good, very strong message. Please give them all welcome.
Hello, my name is Ibrahim Sincere. Before I start, I'd like to pay my respects on his birthday to the late great Malcolm X. I'm gonna do a piece called People, Power and Politics. I hope what I'm about to write brings a change, but if I can't change the world, I pray I'm alive on the day, so I can ponder on our past with a smile on my face. A revolution of the mind is what we require to escape, because everybody fell asleep and that includes me and you. And everybody's waking up like light piercing to the room. Open your eyes and see the matrix, they see everything you do. We live on a chessboard, they plan every single move. The Crusades refers to an extermination of Islam, to how the Bush used the word when he went Afghanistan. And why they sending their inspectors to Iran as if all the bombs in their homeland ain't doing any harm? As if anything in our hands is automatically lethal, like your land was built on anything actually legal. See, we live as a society, but fall short as a people. Now the product doesn't sum up, I thought everybody was equal, and the world's civilized like it's a book with no sequel. Plus the book he wrote was evil. But my knowledge isn't feeble, I don't believe in them lies. All these leaders are demons in disguise with the gift of the gab, and it's deceiving your mind. Just a bit to the fact that capitalism is a fancy word to feed the greed and use the needy. Showing money and telling you can be me if you believe me. You can have everything we put on your TV. We can talk when you make it. If you don't, you never see me. He's a working man now, spending more than he has and in debt for grinds now. Meanwhile in Iraq there's another man down. Obama, you're a very smart man, hands down. Or the general population's lacking general knowledge. I haven't read 100 books, man, this is general logic. To secure the Holy Land, these beasts will go to any measure. So Israel sees more raid than all of Africa together. Tell me if you heard of anyone in there being poor. They can eradicate poverty if they didn't spend on the war. If they wanted, they can end it all, but what's more important? We came to tear down the walls, now they're sending reinforcements. Cause we sick of all these people who ain't never seen a struggle, telling us why we were wrong and they're the root of all our troubles. Bring back Malcolm, Khomeini, we need a revolution. Rise of the youthful, enough is the solution. We won't ever surrender, no, this is a black flag movement. In my mind I land on the moon and set my sights on the pollution. I ain't talking about smoke, I'm talking about a smoke screen. pulled all over your eyes and now you don't see. If it ain't our fault we're blind, tell me why we don't speak. I wish we had the steps to believe if only we weren't so intertwined in our daily panic. But in my vision we emerge from every single challenge. So here's a message if you're listening. The power's in your mind, escape the mental imprisonment. Set yourself a goal, put your whole heart into it. As soon as change occurs internally, the external is imminent. That's my proposition, and I hope you consider it. You write your own destiny, man, even if you're illiterate. So lose the fear in your eyes, and thank you for your time. I'm out, goodbye, yours sincerely, I. Before I leave, I'd like to say thank you. If you guys are on Twitter, you can follow me on Twitter at Ibrahim Sincere, IDRAHIM Sincere. Peace.